Hey guys, BlazeThrough Gaming here and welcome back to another Destiny 2 news update. So, it's been a big week for Bungie. They have obviously dropped the Warmind reveal livestream the other day, and we had a lot of information off the back of that, which I covered in my last video. In this video, we're going to cover off everything else that was released in this week at Bungie. Alright guys, so let's get into this one. So we're going to take a look at how exotic masterwork weapons are going to work going forward in Season 3. So Bungie asked the following questions, and they say, how do you make exotics feel more exotic? It's a two-part question, including how it feels to acquire and upgrade the weapon, and how it feels to use the weapon. So that was the question that Bungie raised around masterwork weapons. So Bungie's goals in extending masterwork perks and mechanics to exotic weapons are primarily to create new in-game goals for hobbyist players and reinforce specific activities with these long trail pursuits. So there was a few areas that Bungie wanted to address when creating an exotic masterwork pursuit. First, exotics in Destiny 2 are very easy to acquire, and we all know this. Many players have most of the exotics, or by this point in time, if you've been playing from launch, will have all the exotic weapons. Some of us may not have some of the quest related exotics because, for example, accurate lens, obviously you need to be able to do the raid, and I know not every player in Destiny will have done the raid. Bungie then go on to say they don't want to make players re-earn every exotic weapon. Exotic masterwork acquisition and progression needed to take place after acquisition. Additionally, we need to figure out a player-friendly way of representing the processes of attaining and applying an exotic masterwork. The milestone tab doesn't provide a good flow for every exotic masterwork, and bounties are planned for the summer. So Bungie have said that there will be another tab just below shaders and mods where everything along the lines of quests will be placed within that tab. So no longer are the quests going to be put in your kinetic energy and your power slots. In order to begin the masterwork process, players will have to find an exotic masterwork catalyst. When inspecting the exotic, there will be a hint at what activities can grant the catalyst for that weapon. Not all exotic masterworks have the same drop rate. Some exotic masterwork weapons are guaranteed after a certain amount of engrainment, whilst others are earned at random. So take a look at the Cold Heart now. We can see where they've got the Cold Heart catalyst, and it says found in strikes against the most challenging opponents. So for this one to unlock the masterwork perk, we have to obviously compete in strikes and go up against challenging opponents. Once acquired, the catalyst can be applied to immediately enable orb generation to double kills. For the weapons, exotic weapons with catalyst applied will also start tracking enemies defeated like legendary masterwork weapon counterparts. After applying the catalyst, there will be a bounty-like objectives available that need to be completed in order to upgrade to the final masterwork state, which will apply stat perks bonuses to this weapon. So taking a look back at the Cold Heart now, we can see that the catalyst has been applied to turn it into a masterwork that we know on legendary to get obviously the ore drops, as well as tracking enemies killed or tracking players killed in Crucible. So to make this the final version of the masterwork, here it states defeat enemies using Cold Heart to unlock this upgrade. So to me it means simply you just gotta keep shooting and killing enemies until you get to 100%, then you unlock the masterwork for the Cold Heart. A few masterworks will require you to do a single thing, where others will have multiple steps. These objectives will vary in difficulty and length, but will not be determined by RNG. The goal of these objectives is to push the player to engage with the weapon that they wish to make into a full masterwork. When it comes to difficulty, there are a few exotic masterworks paired with difficult activities or accomplishments in-game. We are expecting that there may be one or two exotic weapons that give players the opportunity to set goals in mastering specific activities in order to earn most desired masterworks. Don't know for a fact, but I know that when they're regarding into this one, for example, that maybe we might have to go into trials and, for example, maybe go flawless. I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but until obviously that's been confirmed, we just don't know what them sort of specific activities are going to be. But we're going to use trials and flawless as an example for this one. I know not everyone plays trials. I don't play trials. I have done in the past when I can get a good enough team to play with. So for example, if there's a masterwork tied to trials, then I'm most likely not going to pursue that one because I don't play trials. So there might be an exotic masterwork out there that you might not necessarily get because of the activity that they're assigned to. But at least then that makes the game very varied, and you might push certain individuals or certain players to take on new activities that they might not have wanted to in the past. I know it is hard to get a fire team to do it as a solo player. Bungie wanted to get ahead of a few questions that they are expecting and say, here's a quick roundup of more specific notes. Exotic masterwork pursuit only need to be done once per account. You don't have to chase the white whale on each character. So if you, for example, me, I play predominantly as a Titan. Once I've got that masterwork, I wouldn't have to chase that same masterwork as a warlock or a hunter. Next one. Through the masterwork process, duplicate drops for an exotic weapon via engrams, milestones, or even exotic collection will be initialized at your current masterwork upgrade state. So to me, that sounds a lot like, well, once you've upgraded a weapon to a masterwork, if you then say get rid of that weapon and you go back into your vault and you basically repurchase that one, you should be able to purchase it again at that masterwork state. But don't hold me to it. That's just my speculation on that one. Next up, the exotic masterwork process takes place fully in the weapon details screen. There won't be any objectives that take up character inventory spaces. Not all exotic masterworks will be available immediately when Season 3 begins. If you inspect an exotic and a masterwork socket is not visible, the catalyst is not yet available. So over time, Bungie will be obviously watching how masterworks are going to go ahead in the future. This is a subject that will be ever evolving over time. So it might not be perfect right now, but over time we might get that massively perfect state. So that is exotic masterworks and how they're going to kind of work and how we will get it. We know it's going to go in a two-part stage. So we've got the catalyst stage and then we've got the full masterwork stage. We also know not all exotic weapons will immediately be in Season 3 from the beginning, but by end of Season 3, hopefully we will get all exotics that are currently in the game at that point in time with masterwork equivalents. So the masterwork system for the weapons sounds and looks pretty good. There looks like a bit of grinding to do. So, you know, get on that endgame. I know endgame's a little bit naff right now, but this is a good, for me personally, I'm excited. This looks like a good step. It looks like a step in the right direction. So let's just see how that all plays out on May 8th. Okay, so moving on. Moving over to the exotic gunsmith, as they call it. Taking a look at the next 3 exotic weapons and what changes have been done with them. So let's start off with the tractor cannon. The tractor cannon has delivered a high amount of spectacle and has a huge fun factor, but was lacking unity for many players. To address this, in addition to an expected damage and physical impulse, any target by tractor cannon now has a debuff applied that adds suspension and marks the target vulnerable to avoid damage for 10 seconds. Suspension will function as you expect. So in Crucible, this will shut down active supers and prevent players from using their abilities. In PvE, this will put most enemies in a suspension state where they cower and grovel. The void vulnerability adds a significant weakness to any source of incoming void damage. So if you're a solo player, run it with a favorite void weapon and or subclasses for optimal effect. But if you're running with a coordinated fire team, Bungie are excited and both terrified to see how fast we can melt some of our harder bosses with strategic void attacks. The void vulnerability does not stack with itself, but it does stack with other damage with debuffs. So let's have a quick look at how the new tractor cannon is going to work within PvE. So the next weapon up is Hardlight. Hardlight is going to be copying the Borealis damage type reload swap. So by holding down reload, we'll cycle through elemental damage types in combat. So that's going to be a lot more useful. If you know how the Hardlight works, you have to go into the weapon selection mode and automatically change it through there and then go back to gameplay. It's a long process, so this swap and change to like how the Borealis does it with the reload spec, that's a very good thing. The bonus projectiles have always been a dazzling light show, but actually actually using them to do real work on your enemies. Around corners or off of walls has been difficult. It's more of a suppression tactic than reliable offense. One option Bungie considered was providing aim assist for the lifetime of projectiles, but they couldn't commit due to sheer amount of pressure this would put on our runtime engine. Their runtime engine. Imagine 12 players on a console in 6v6 all using this weapon, each player firing a round every 3 frames, and their aim assist code trying to predict the trajectory of each bullet for up to 3 bounces and then attempt to correct it to hit a target. So rather than Bungie make it easier for us to land a bunch of shots, Bungie made the payoff better for when it does happen. Bounced bullets now do more damage. So let's take a look at the hardlight in action and we'll get a good idea of what they're talking about. So the next weapon up is the Borealis. I know I mentioned the Borealis in the Hardlight one because they're using the reload switch and implementing it into Hardlight. Obviously, we've had this reload switch in the Borealis. So this is what Bungie had to say for the Borealis and what they're doing to make it better. The utility of having a weapon that can match any damage shield on the fly is good. But in order to make the weapon great, Bungie wanted to double down on the reward of successful pulling this off. After breaking an enemy shield with a matching damage type, Borealis now deals double damage until the next reload or damage type swap. For PvE activities, it gives the weapon a more reliable benefit than Hardlight in both casual modes and high pressure activities. However, it's not a perk that was meant just for PvE. This behavior also applies to enemy guardians in the Crucible. Masterworks are active, simply put down to break shield and or kill an enemy sentinel titan who is actively using their super. You have a double damage sniper rounds. Yes, that's a one hit kill to the body until you die or reload. It's pretty rare to pull off and requires a fair amount of predictive awareness, but we've had it happen organic a few times during internal playtesting and highly confident that skilled players will be able to make some amazing plays with this weapon. So the Borealis, let's take a quick look at that in the Crucible. So the Borealis, that looks pretty gnarly for Crucible. I got a feeling I'm going to pretty much rage out every time I see Borealis pop up on my screen of who just killed me. Off the back of that, so Josh Hamrick had this to say at the end of the weapon reveals. That's all for this week. I'm sure we'll be chatting again soon, really soon, maybe next week. We still have a few more development videos to share. So by the looks of it, in this week at Bungie, we hopefully will get a showcase of a few more weapons. So looking forward to that one very much. Okay, so next up, how seasonal Crucible ranking will work. Since Bungie's original announcement, seasonal Crucible ranking have been a hot topic. The Crucible team have been hard at work to implement the system. Starting with Season 3, Crucible ranking will be available to all players. Senior Crucible designer Kevin Jens gave a quick overview on stream of what to expect. We're diving deeper into the weeds to answer some of our burning questions. So yeah, Crucible ranking has been a system that us as a player base has been asking for a very long time, even back in Destiny 1. The fact that now we're finally getting this ranked play within Destiny, it's a good step. It is going to be very competitive in certain areas, I believe. We're going to have a quick look through this now. What are seasonal Crucible ranks? Seasonal Crucible ranks are comprised of two key matches, a level and a rank points, or level and rank points. As players earn points in each rank, they will level up and unlock new rewards for shacks to hand out in the tower. Leveling up gives players an assortment of Crucible tokens, Crucible engrams, and Masterwork cores, depending on how far up they have leveled. There are 6 specific Crucible ranks that players can reach, starting with the rank of Guardian and ending with players becoming Legend. So the breakdown of the rankings goes as follows: Guardian, Brave, Heroic, Fabled, Malefic, and Legend. I think I said some of them right. So starting Season 3, we've got 2 types of Crucible ranking, Valor and Glory. Valor is going to be the Crucible ranking for the quick play playlist, and Glory will be the ranking system for competitive. So Bungie say this about each one of them. Valor is a progression rank that goes up as you complete matches. Winning helps you move up faster, and there is no loss penalties. Valor ranks serve to showcase a player's time commitment to playing Crucible. As players win, they will accommodate a win streak that will give players bonus points for each sequential win. These win streaks will cap out after 5 wins and then reset. Try to see how often you can hit a full 5 win streak. Players who complete their Valor ranks can choose to reset them to begin their journey anew, and even make progression towards some rewards that require a fixed number of resets. So pretty self-explanatory, that one, I believe. Right, moving over to Glory. Glory is a progression rank earned in competitive playlists that goes up as you win matches, but can go down as you lose. Closing out wins is how players are going to move up here. Glory ranks serve to showcase the mastery players have in some of our most intense game modes and show how they stack up against worthy opponents. Glory features the same win streak system from Valor, but with an additional of loss streaks that works similar. As players lose consistent matches, they will lose more and more points. This means no game is without its stakes, so it's best to keep on your A game. So what are we going to earn for moving up the ranks? Beginning in Season 3, new Crucible rewards will be attached to seasonal Crucible rankings. This means that armor, ornaments, emblems, and new weapons will require players to earn both a Valor and Glory ranks to acquire them. Players receive reward packages when reaching a new level in Valor or Glory. Players receive Glory reward packages only the first time a new rank is reached in a season. If you lose a match and drop a rank, you do not receive another reward package when ranking back up. So in addition to suits of Season 3 rewards, Bungie are planning on bringing unique weapons to Glory rank for players to work towards. The weapon will only be available for the duration of the season, and once the season ends, it will disappear for a long time. But if you are not a Crucible player, don't worry, because there are rumors that there will be kind of PvE equivalents to the PvP weapons that are going to be around, for seasons. They also answers like, where can I earn these ranks? So obviously Valor is a quick play option, so you'll find it naturally in quick play. You'll also be able to earn rewards or ranking in Rumble and also Mayhem. And then obviously Glory is predominantly just competitive. But you might be wondering, hey, where does Trials and Iron Banner fit into this? Well, they're not going to have any Crucible rankings attached to them, as they have their own investment rewards and separate from the Crucible. Additionally, to maintain the integrity of Glory ranks, players will only be able to earn Glory ranks in competitive playlists. Valor, capped out at 2,000 rank points, features a win streak bonus point, can be reset when fully completed with no cap on resets per season. Resets each season, has ornaments, emblems, and weapon rewards, requires a fixed number of Valor resets to earn some rewards, featured in Quick Play, Rumble, and Mayhem. Glory, caps out at 5,500 rank points, features win streak bonus points, adds loss streak penalties for recurring losses. Players can earn bonus rank points or fend off decay by completing 3 competitive matches each week. Only resets each season, has ornaments, emblems, and weapon rewards, features unique seasonal weapons that can be earned at Fable level, about 40% of the way through your journey in Glory ranks. Lets players earn ornaments for seasonal weapons at Legend level. But anyway guys, moving on to the last subject of news for this week at Bungie, and it's the Season 2 finale. So Lord Saladin returns for the final belt of Iron Banner in Season 2. So the Iron Banner will begin at next reset, which is Tuesday the 1st the main ending on May 8th. And again, this game mode is going to be control, and it will be 6v6 again. If you're like me, I thoroughly enjoyed 6v6. I jumped back on the other day to play 4v4, and it just didn't have that same feel. So I'm looking forward to having 6v6 back in with Iron Banner. I'm hoping that they bring 6v6 back into quick play, and because it is a lot of fun, and there is just a bit more carnage, a little bit more fast paced, and it is enjoyable to go alongside the 4v4. I know a lot of people like the 4v4 out there, and I'm not against 4v4. I enjoy it as much as the next person, but I think you should have that quick play into broken down the two options. You either have an option to choose, right, I feel like playing 4v4, or I want to go and jump in on a 6v6, and you've got the choice between the two. As a warning, this will be the last chance to earn Season 2 ornaments make sure to jump in and complete these ornaments. So guys, that is it for this week at Bungie. So anyway guys, I have taken up enough of your time for this video. So if you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It is much appreciated, and it will help my channel out massively. If you haven't liked this video and you hit dislike, please explain why you disliked it in the comment fields below, so I can implement and change how I do my videos to better suit you guys. Also guys, if you want to see more Destiny 2 and keep up to date with the news and updates, then by all means hit that subscribe button. It will also mean a hell of a lot to me. So with all that said, I have been BlazeThrough Gaming. Until next time, bye for now.